Good morning. I'm Dr. E. Kavita, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering, SRM Institute of Science and Technology. I welcome you all for the lecture series on cleaner technologies and sustainability. So, this is Module 2 video. So, what are the contents in Module 2? Let us see. Overview of cleaner production, assessment steps and skills, preparing for the site visit, information gathering and process flow diagram, material balance, waste reduction at source, practical techniques for waste minimization, good housekeeping, input material changes, product changes, technical changes, recycling, on-site and off-site recovery. In this video, I'm going to cover the first three topics. The first one is overview of cleaner production assessment. What are all the steps involved in that? Skills required to carry out cleaner production practices, preparing for the site visit, information gathering, how to develop the process flow diagram, and what is material balance and how it has to be done. So we'll move on to the video. So overview of cleaner production assessment steps and skills. So what is cleaner production? Cleaner production is a continuous application, or we can say it is a preventive approach, or it is preventive environmental strategy to process product and services in order to increase the overall efficiency and at the same time to reduce the risk on human and also the environment. So cleaner production assessment is a systematic methodology for identifying what are all the areas where uh, improvements is needed, or for identifying areas of inefficient resource usage and also poor waste management. So first topic, I'm going to explain about cleaner production assessment steps in that phase 1. So that involves planning and organization. So what are all the key components of planning and organization? One by one, let's see. Management commitment. That is the first step. You need to obtain the approval from the management. That is, it is crucial for success success of implementing cleaner production practices. So it requires demonstrating economic and environmental benefits of cleaner production to secure resources and also sustained support. And second part, establish a project team. I mean, a multidisciplinary team which uh, involves the representatives from production, engineering, environmental, health and safety, and also from management. So responsibilities include analysis, development, evaluation, and implementation of cleaner production initiatives. The next one, developing environmental policy, objectives, and also targets. That is defining or define the guiding principles, measurable goals. For example, reduce the water consumption by 50 percentage in within 1 year or 2 years, like that. Set the goal, and also it should be a measurable goal and specific actions to achieve the cleaner production. Okay. Next, assessment plan. I mean, define the scope, budget, how much time is required, and also its success criteria. Next, phase 2. So that is pre-assessment stage. So what components are involved in pre-assessment? So company description. So to develop a high-level overview of the company, its products, services, and also major processes. Next one is walkthrough inspection. Qualitative visual inspection of the facility in order to identify uh, what are the various sources of waste, inefficiencies, leakages, spillages, and also poor housekeeping, and what are all the potential areas for improvement. And this often involves questioning operators, and also observing the practices. The next one, in-depth assessment. So what is that in-depth assessment? So it is based on the pre-assessment, identifying the priority area or processes for in-depth assessment, often those with a high resource consumption, significant waste generation, or involving high cost. Then phase 3, which is quantitative review. So what are the components involved in that? So the first one, data collection, like gather detailed data on raw material, inputs, product outputs, waste stream, what is the type, quantity, how much is the composition, then energy consumption, water usage, and also associated costs. So this involves reviewing production records, utility bills, waste manifests, and conducting measurements. The next one, material and energy balances. So perform a detailed material and energy balances for specific processes or the entire facility to quantify losses and identify inefficiencies. Then identify opportunities. Brainstorm and identify potential cleaner production options based on data analysis and also understanding of the process. Then record and sort options. So you have to categorize and document the identify options for further evaluation. Okay. The next, phase 4, that is evaluation and the feasibility study. So what are all the evaluation involved in that? Preliminary evaluation, that means initial screening of options based on technical viability and obvious benefits out of it. Then next one, technical evaluation. Detailed assessment of the technical feasibility, what are all the engineering requirements involved in that, and operational changes needed for each promising options. Then economic evaluation. So conduct the cost benefit analysis, considering capital investment, operational savings, and also potential revenue from the required materials. So use metrics like a payback period, etc. Then environmental evaluation. Assess the environmental impact reduction, like for example, reduced emission of carbon dioxide or any other toxic effluents, and how much resource depletion. So all these in falls under environmental evaluation. Then selection of option. Prioritize and select the most viable cleaner production option for implementation. Okay. Next, phase 5, which is implementation and monitoring. So what are the steps involved in that? So implementation plan. So first you have to develop a detailed plan for implementing the selected options, including responsibilities, timelines, and what are the resources required for that. Then monitoring and review. So monitoring, like continuously monitor the performance of implemented option, track the progress against the targets, and make adjustments as needed. So this ensures sustained improvements. And so review the process. That means like after monitoring, so you can evaluate what is the outcome from the strategy, and you have to review the process, and based on that you have to make any updation in the strategy. So these are all the steps involved in cleaner production assessment. Next, what are all the skills, essential skills required to carry out cleaner production assessment? So technical understanding. So in-depth knowledge of industrial processes, chemical reactions, or whatever unit operations involved, then engineering principles involved, and what kind of equipments used. So all the knowledge about, all these concepts, that is technical understanding. Then analytical skill. ability to collect and interpret and analyze the data, like material balance calculations, energy audits, cost data. So these are all analytical skills. Then problem solving skill. So identifying the root cause of waste and inefficiency and developing the creative solutions. Communication skill. So effective communication with management, operators, and other stakeholders to gather information, present your findings, and build consensus. Then teamwork and facilitation. So ability to work effectively in multidisciplinary teams and facilitate brainstorming sessions. Then economic acumen, understanding of cost accounting, financial analysis, and also business case development. For all these skills are required in order to successfully implement any cleaner production strategies. And one more point, environmental awareness. That is, so knowledge of environmental regulations, pollution impacts, and also sustainability principles. The next, preparation for site visit. And before that, I will summarize what I have um, discussed or described so far. So it's like a cleaner production. What is that cleaner production and evaluation steps involved in that? What are all the skills required? So it is like implement the best practices with the commitment and also with the collaboration. Okay. Next, preparing for the site visit. So the site visit, particularly the walkthrough, is a critical component of pre-assessment phase. So proper preparation ensures efficiency and also effectiveness. So step by step, what are the components involved in that preparation for the site visit? So define objectives. Clearly state what you aim to achieve during the visit. Example, like identify major waste streams, observe some operational practices, and discuss with the personnels, interview them, ask some questions, and understand the process. The next, gather information. So it is like collecting the information related to company profile, basic process description, flow diagrams, previous environmental reports or audits, utility bills, waste generation records, safety data sheet, and organizational chart, key personal contacts. So all kind of the information required you need to collect. Then develop a checklist. Prepare a questionnaire to create a structured list of items to observe and questions to ask. So, what kind of things that can be asked, like raw material storage and handling? What is the operational conditions like temperature, pressure, flow rate, waste generation points? What are all the solid, liquid, gaseous waste generated? Energy consumption points, water usage points, housekeeping practices, maintenance of equipments, uh, operator trainings and awareness, and what are all the safety procedures followed. So all these kind of questionnaire can be covered under site visit. During the site visit. Then assemble the team and also the logistics. That is So you need to ensure the CP assessment team is present and understands their roles and responsibilities during the visit. Include the individuals with diverse perspectives like production, maintenance, environmental safety, like then cost analysis, everything. Then notify the site personnel. You have to inform the facility management and the relevant departments about the visit, what is the purpose of the visit and the expected duration, and also ensure their cooperation. Then safety briefing, understand the site specific safety rules and also ensure all the team members have and wear appropriate personal protective equipments like a helmet, safety glasses, goggles, steel-toed boots. So all these things you have to ensure. Then logistics, like plan the route through the facility, considering the process flow and the potential hazards, and also ensure the access to relevant area and personnel. The next important point is the information gathering. So it is the bedrock of a robust cleaner production assessment. So what components are involved in information gathering? So what are all the methods of information gathering? The prime one is document review. I mean, analyzing the existing records like production logs, purchase record, sales data, waste manifests, utility bills, maintenance reports, process description, uh, then PID diagrams. All these things you have to review. Then site observation, direct observation of processes, materials handling, observing what are all the materials handled, waste generation points, leakages, spillages, and also other operational practices. Then personal engagement. It's like engaging with the personals at all levels, as I mentioned earlier, management, people, engineers, supervisors, operators, in order to gain insights into operational challenges, waste issues, and also potential solutions. Then, what kind of advanced information we can gather? That's the next one. So, advanced information gathering. So it is like measurements, sampling, um, integration of diverse data sources, brainstorming sessions. So the measurement, like quantifying the waste streams, flow rates, concentration, energy consumption, so, all these things through direct measurement and also sampling. Then brainstorming sessions. This involves facilitating discussions with cleaner production team and the relevant personnel to generate idea for improvement. Next topic, process flow diagram. So the process flow diagram is a visual representation of the entire production process or a specific unit operation or unit process, showing the sequence of steps, inputs, outputs, and also intermediate streams. So what are the purposes of process flow diagram in cleaner production assessment? So the what are all the, the core objectives, it provides a clear understanding of the process. A neat or a perfect process flow diagram that provides a clean understanding of the process, and it helps to identify uh, all the inputs like raw materials, water, energy, and also outputs like products, some byproducts, waste streams, emissions. And also it highlights the inefficiency. Highlights the potential points of waste generation or inefficient resource usage. And it serves as the foundation for material and energy balances. Next one, components. What are all the components of perfect process flow diagram? So unit operations, represented by uh, standard symbols like so pump, heat exchanger, distillation column, absorption column, evaporator. So all kind of unit operation equipments. Then flow streams, lines indicating the movement of material, so raw material, intermediate or some byproducts, final product, waste streams, everything. Then input and outputs, so all resources entering the system and all the products and waste streams leaving the system. Then control points, so indicates where the data can be collected, like what kind, monitoring and regulating operations. So that is control points, like where you can collect the data. So start with a high level diagram, and you can add some details in order to make a perfect process flow diagram. But that is what developing the process flow diagram. Start with the general flow diagram with some basic uh, inputs, then add progressively some details into it, so that you will be getting the, I mean, you can for that you can involve the process operators, you can gather the information, you can involve the process operators, so that you can develop the process flow diagram. So what we have discussed in that, so what is understood from the previous discussions. So collaboration of process flow diagram development, process flow diagram visualization, and also information gathering. All these things put together leads to effective cleaner production assessment. Next key component, material balance. So that material balance is a quantitative tool fundamental to cleaner production. So which applies the principles of law of conservation of mass, that is what comes into the plant, that comes out of the plant. So mass in, that is equal to mass out. So so this can be applied to total process or individual unit operations. So the mass out includes desired products or some side products, byproducts, and all the forms of waste. Can be a solid waste, liquid waste, or it can be a gaseous waste. So that is what mentioned earlier. Like the principle is, so the total mass entering, that is equal to total mass leaving, and it applies to all the processes, or it can be individual one. So everything covers under this. So what are the purposes of material balance in achieving cleaner production? So it sets the baseline. So establish the current resource consumption and waste generation rates for future comparison. Then justify investments. That is provide a data to support the economic benefits of waste reduction. Identify inefficiencies. So this involves highlight where the materials are not being fully converted into desired end product. Then evaluate the cleaner production options. So predict the impact of the proposed changes on material flow and waste reduction. So what are the steps for performing a material balance? Define the system boundary. I mean, clearly define the process or unit operation for which the material balance is being performed. Identify inputs and outputs. Up, list all the materials entering and leaving the system. Then collect the data. So obtain an accurate quantitative data for each input and output streams. It can be mass, or in terms of concentration, or in terms of flow rate. Then construct the flow diagram with all the data. So superimpose the collected data onto the process flow diagram. Then perform the calculation. So apply the conservation of mass principle to calculate the unknown streams or verify the accuracy of the known data. And finally, analyze discrepancies. If the balance does not close, I mean, if the input is not equal to output, identify the potential measurement errors, unquantified losses, or some unknown reactions, and try to sort out the balance. So, the, these are all the steps involved in performing a material balance calculation. So, with this, I'm completing uh, module 2, the 3 chapters involved in that. So, first we discussed about cleaner production evaluation, then site visit, process flow diagram, and finally material balance calculation. So in the next video, I'll describe about waste reduction, waste minimization techniques, and what are all the steps involved in that or techniques involved in that. So thank you all for listening. Thank you.